Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com. In this video, you are going to learn the 5 steps to becoming an expert in any niche. Now, this video is vitally important for you because the common knowledge about how to succeed online always comes back to this idea of become the expert, become the trusted advisor for your audience. But how? How do you actually get there? And that's exactly what you're going to learn inside of this video. I'm not only going to explain the 5 steps, but I'm going to help you understand kind of the differences between the steps so you'll know where you are and you'll know when you've crossed the threshold to the next one. Now, step number 1 is where everyone starts, and that's being an amateur. And this isn't a bad thing. This is just normal. If you want to learn how to snowboard, you want to learn how to surf, you're going to be bad at it at first, and that's where everyone starts. You really know you're in that amateur phase when you're consuming more content than you create. Okay, and we all have to skill up. We all have to gain knowledge. And in the world of digital marketing, in the world of online businesses, you need to gain knowledge about the platforms that you're publishing on, right? So like YouTube, how do I get this video to rank, et cetera, et cetera. But then there's the actual content. I've got 17 years of experience making money online, and it really started with learning how does this game work? How does affiliate marketing work? How do you grow an email list? So phase 1 is an amateur, and that's where you're studying, you're learning, you're understanding how the game works, and you're starting to publish in this phase, okay? You're dabbling in the world of publishing. You maybe started a blog, you maybe started a YouTube channel, but you're really actually consuming more than you create. Then you get to phase 2, and phase 2 is turning pro. And this is a hat tip to the book by Steven Pressfield with the name Turning Pro. And this is when you really ultimately make a decision. And that decision is to create more than you consume, and ultimately you decide to go all in on your audience. So if you've decided that your audience is people wanting to learn how to play guitar, or people who want to learn how to make quilts, or learn how to build cool stuff in Minecraft, or win at the game of Fortnite, whatever that niche is, when you commit to go all in on your audience to the tune of showing up every day and creating something great for them, to the tune of creating more than you consume. Now, this phase is kind of a long phase. For me, in this YouTube channel you're watching, it took me years of publishing. And a few things are happening in this phase that are really, really vitally important, and this is kind of why it takes a while. Number 1, you're learning the platform. You choose a core platform, whether it's blogging, podcasting, YouTube videos, whatever that is for you, and you go all in. So you're learning how the platform works. So on YouTube, what title is a good title? What's going to get clicked? How do I make good thumbnails that are going to get clicked? What's YouTube SEO? How do I rank on YouTube? How do I get my YouTube videos to rank on Google, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of the craft of publishing on the platform. But then there's like, how do I become a really competent speaker? How do I become someone who's animated and clear and concise? I get in, I give the message, get the message, and get out, right? Those are the craft of making the videos, not just to mention that topic matter. When I started teaching about how to make money online in digital marketing, I had about 13 or 14 years of experience making money online myself. So all of that comes together in this second phase. And then you're really working to gain competence on the platform, to gain competence as a publisher on the platform, right? The content you create is good, and you're sharing what you're learning. You're sharing whether you're researching and reading and testing new things and sharing that as you go, or you're drawing upon 10, 15 years of experience that you have professionally. It doesn't really matter. That's what you're doing in phase 2. So in this realm, this is where affiliate income can really start to grow. And you can definitely make some coaching and consulting income in this phase, but when you're teaching people how to get the results that they want, because that's what everybody's searching for. That's what people search Google for, that's what people search YouTube for. And when you show them actually how to get the results that they want, and you include the affiliate links to the things they have to buy to get there, that's how you can start to earn income. And my brand, the Miles Beckler brand here on YouTube, I was earning about 10 grand a month income in 9 months of starting this channel. Now, I did about 300 videos in that time. And again, I had about 13 years of experience making money online before I ever started. Just a dose of perspective for you there. But the real key here to understand is that you're publishing more than you consume. Okay, that's when you've turned pro and you're sticking with it forever, right? You're just there for your audience. I'm gonna keep showing up for you guys. This is a forever thing I'm starting. There's no point when I'm done. And all of these levels, when you get to the next level, you kind of keep doing the same things you were doing at the level before. It just gets easier. For me to create a YouTube video today is easier than it was 3 years ago when I was just getting started. And I'd like to think that my videos are a little bit better at this point in time. So step number 3 is when you become a niche authority. And this is the really exciting point that you can really start to see the income incomes start to rise. And I would say that I had actually bridged the gap when I was making that 10 grand per month into the niche authority realm. So how do you know when you are actually a niche authority? Well, number one, you've mastered the process of publishing on the platforms, which means the platform is delivering you audience members and attention, okay? So I knew I had mastered YouTube when YouTube was driving thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people to my videos each and every day. And I was actually very competent at making videos, and I was making videos at the time that were getting amazing comments of like, Miles, your DIY sales funnel saved me thousands of dollars. Miles, I was finally able to build a website because I followed your tutorial. Miles, I finally understand how keyword research works because of your tutorial of how you taught me. I have hours upon hours, I mean hundreds if not thousands of hours of content here, just teaching. So you're consistently helping other people get results that they value in this phase. That's when you know you're in that niche authority phase. And what starts to happen when you're a niche authority is your audience members begin sharing you, your content, your videos, your blog posts, whatever it is. They like you so much, they start to share you. And that is that kind of second level of marketing where you're not necessarily doing all the marketing yourself. The platform isn't doing all the marketing, but those people who have found you and they've consumed your content and they love you and they've gotten value because you're helping them achieve their goals and they start to share you, that is a very, very powerful place to be. And it really just takes time. Another symbol of being in this niche authority world is that you have an email list that's growing, and your audience in your email list, they look forward to your future emails. They're replying to your emails saying things like, oh my gosh, this email changed the game for me, or I totally needed to hear this today. So there's a lot of new skills that you're going to be bringing to the table at this niche authority level, right? You have to learn how to build a list. You have to learn what a lead magnet is and making an opt-in page, and then how to email. What do I email these people? And these are all of the things that you learn and gain mastery of when you are in this niche authority world. And the coaching and consulting income opens up completely. I've got a good friend, he's got a YouTube channel with just under a couple of hundred videos on it, and he did a launch recently for one-on-one coaching, 2 calls per month, plus back and forth Marco Polo, which is kind of like an app where it's like a walkie-talkie app with video, $2,500 per person. Dude's making 10 grand a month. Why? Well, because he reached this level. He got himself to where he really was a niche authority in the eyes of his audience. And when he put out this offer, enough people were willing to say yes to that one-on-one coaching because they've watched his videos, they've done what he said, they've gotten good results with his teaching, they know him, they like him, they trust him, and they want the result. They want to take it farther. So when he said, hey, I'll take on 4 people at $2,500 a month and this is what you get, they signed up quickly, and he's reopened that and he's making a lot more at this point in time. So it's a great place to be, but it takes a lot of time and energy to get there. Now, you're not, there's no specific, like, I don't know, you don't get a trophy, there's no diploma, you don't actually exactly know. The border lines between these different phases are a little bit blurred, but what's gonna happen is you're just gonna notice that you're sending out emails, you're doing your email marketing, people are saying thank you, people are forwarding on your emails, people are sharing your content socially and virally. This is when you know you've really made it into that niche authority. Then step 4, or level number 4, is the niche celebrity. Now, this is a really powerful place to be, because what happens in this phase is your competitors, and I should put that in air quotes, because there's really no such thing as competition, but the other people in your niche and the other people in your industry who teach similar but possibly a little bit different things that you teach, they start to notice you, they start to acknowledge you, they start to share your stuff, and here's the real kicker, they start to ask you if you want to be on their podcast so you can share what you know to their audience. If you want to do a YouTube collab so you can share they can have you share what you know to their audience, okay? So this is when other creators who have audiences are requesting you to come share your story, your content, your bit, whatever it is that you've figured out. This is how you know you've achieved the niche celebrity. So your peers and your competitors are really, they're not only taking notice, but they're inviting you on, and you're also getting emails to get interviews, questions answered for like roundup posts. I get these all the time. Hey Miles, we're doing a roundup of the top 10 YouTube experts. What do you think the YouTube trends are for 2020? And you cut back an answer and they stitch it all together. So you're now a niche celebrity at this point, because you not only have the attention of your tribe that you grew manually through working with a platform, but your tribe started sharing you out in that last phase. And now the other people who are taking action, the other doers in your space have taken notice of you, and they want to start collabing. If you want to speed up the process to get to this point, which I highly recommend that you do, make sure you're connecting with the other influencers in your space at a very early phase. You can find them on Instagram. Twitter is a great place to connect with content creators in certain areas. Start to engage with them immediately. Don't promote your stuff, engage, share their stuff. Be someone bringing value to them. You'll get on their radar, and when they start to see your name popping up and other people mentioning you and them in the same, my top 5 favorite digital marketers to follow, @ Miles Beckler is up there with a bunch of other big time people in this space, they take notice because they get notified of it, and then the collabs start to happen from there. At this point, what's going on is you're getting access to their audiences, you're getting backlinks from their platforms, so your website authority is gonna grow, your channel authority is gonna grow, and you're gonna be able to sell a lot more coaching and consulting, and your audience is gonna grow massively. And then step 5 is the expert, okay? And so the expert kind of transcends all of these last ones, and you are ultimately known as one of the absolute best in your field. Now, it's always going to be easier to be an expert in a very specific niche. And this is something I didn't do well from the beginning, okay? Is Miles Beckler a Facebook ads guy? Am I a YouTube marketer? Am I an SEO? It's a little blurry, which makes it difficult for me to really truly stand out as an expert. Can I ultimately eventually become an expert in the entire field of digital marketing? Maybe, but that's a very, very difficult thing to kind of reach because there's so many different facets, and it's very difficult for most people to be really good at all of the different pieces. There's the analytical side, there's the big data, and then there's the creative side, the copywriting and all those things. So it's difficult, and what I would recommend you do as you're kind of continuing to grow through these phases is constantly refine and constantly ask, am I niched down enough? Is the Facebook ad person, is that where I need to be? And is it even writing Facebook ads copy versus everything in the world of Facebook advertising? Or could it be Facebook video ads? Could you get known as the best person in the world for Facebook video ads? When you really stand out as like the best in the world, you're the expert. And when a big time corporation, when a Fortune 500 company wants to bring in a consultant and pay a $15,000 day or a $25,000 day to get someone who knows everything about the platform to really level them up in a day, who do they call? The #1 foremost expert. So how do they find you as the expert? Well, you've got everything we've been talking about in the earlier 4 steps, okay? Those are all built together, but at this point, you're being invited to speak on stage, and you're often getting offered 5 figures or 6 figures per speaking engagement. Now, sometimes I've been offered I've spoken on stages around the world. And sometimes these are digital marketing events, but I've got a standing offer with an association, a national association of a very specific type of business. So that's not really a widely known, right? That's not necessarily in my niche, but I have somehow become known to the people who run this association as someone who could help all of their members, and they're offering me 5 figures to come out and teach for 1 day. And this is the type of stuff that happens when you reach the expert status. This is also when it's time to write a book. You want to put out your book, your way of doing things. This is also when you put out your signature series. And ultimately, I think on the niche celebrity level is when you put out your signature process and your signature course. But when you are the expert and you are the best Facebook video ad person in the world, and you've got your signature Facebook video ad course, it's a no-brainer for people. The sales side gets a lot easier because of your positioning in the marketplace. And that's really why it's so powerful to go through all of the time and the effort and the potentially years, I don't know, decades for me to get, I'm not even at the expert level for sure. I'm barely in the niche celebrity. I'm definitely in the niche authority level. Been making money online since 2003. Been making videos nonstop since 2016. Been pouring my heart and my soul into my video, my podcast, my blog, my social media, my email nonstop for 3+ years straight. And I'm still barely in between like steps 3 and 4 on this path. So it's a long path, but the cool part is it's an amazingly rewarding path. I'm now traveling. I'm in Peru right now. It's beautiful. I'm going to go see some magical locations, and my business is growing, and I have a team of people all helping me continue to move this forward. And this works in every niche. This is the exact same path that we've taken for my wife in the spirituality and meditation space. And I've used this with customers and with students in everything from the quilting space to the baseball training space. This works over and over. And when you realize realize that there is a consistent, constant path. It's a 5-step path from amateur, then you turn pro. That to me is the biggest step. That to me is where most people are hung up right now watching the video. They're dabbling, they tried publishing a little bit over here, they tried publishing over there, they're jumping around from one business model to the other, and they haven't fully committed to one audience, one niche, and go all in. And I'm gonna be the best teacher of Fortnite in the world. I'm gonna teach people who wanna get better at the game of Fortnite. I'm gonna teach everybody how to dominate at the game of Fortnite. And when you really commit to your people and you show up and you create more content than you consume, I really think that's the moment you get on the path. And all of the other bits and pieces will happen as long as you keep showing up for your audience, you put them first, you make sure you're helping them get the results that they desire, because that's what everybody's searching for on Google and on YouTube. That's why everybody listens to podcasts, is because they want a specific result. And when you're their go-to people, they start to share you. And when they share you enough, your peers and the other people in your industry doing big things start to take notice, and they'll start to ask you for your help. And all along that path, there's plenty of opportunity to monetize, but you got to stay focused on bringing the value for your audience, showing up for your audience every single day, every single week. You got to be putting out the right, great content that truly helps them get their results. So many people are focused on themselves. If I do this video, am I going to get traffic? If I do this, am I going to get my MO from day one has been, how can I help you? How can I help you? And today, the best idea I had for that was to explain these 5 steps. Tomorrow, it's going to be a different video. Yesterday, it was a different video from there, okay? And this is the path to an wildly successful business online. I hope this makes sense. If you have questions, get at me in the comments below. I thank you very much for watching. I thank you very much for your time. Go ahead and subscribe and like, do what you do. If you made it to the end, hashtag 1% in the comments. I love to know who makes it to the end. I appreciate you. Look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Until we meet again, be well.